So today I'm going to be doing a video about what settings I use with my camera. A lot of you guys have been asking me to just give you guys my settings because you like the quality of my videos. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have my SJCAM 5000X with me today. This is pretty much standard across the board with any camera that I review. This is the kind of the quality that I'm looking for and the settings that I choose. So let's get started. Resolution. So with resolution, I always leave it at 1080p 60 frames per second. I like it at this level because I don't really shoot much in 4K or 2K. If you do want to shoot in 4K and 2K, you should really use a memory card that accepts that format. So even if you set it to 4K or 2K, if you're not using a U3 memory card, you're not going to get that quality because the memory card won't be able to record your video in 4K or 2K quick enough. So I personally use 1080p 60 frames per second. Loop recording. This is really a personal preference. I like to leave this off. It kind of cuts your clips into 3-minute clips. Some people prefer that. I just like to have one big long clip that I can sift through. This is really, again, a personal preference. Doesn't affect your video quality. This is just kind of a way that it saves your videos for you. FOV. So with FOV, I like to leave that off. That is the degrees. That kind of takes your field of view and it makes it bigger or smaller depending on the degree angle that you choose. I like to leave that off because I like to see the most amount of video in my shots. So while you're in the video, you can always adjust that based on your needs. For me, I personally leave it off. So WDR, that is your wide dynamic range. I always leave that on. That is really something that affects the quality of your colors when you're shooting in bright areas. So I always leave that on, and I feel it helps, just keep everything nicely balanced and toned, and I recommend leaving that on. The thing I have is my gyro sensor. I always leave that on. It's kind of like your image stabilizer. I like to use that to get rid of my shakiness in my videos. Bitrate. So I always leave that on high. Bitrate is kind of the number of data, the amount of data you have per second of video. So the higher it is, the higher quality your videos will be. So with what I do, I always leave it on high. Image size. So with image size, that's really the pictures that you're taking. I always leave that on the highest, and I leave it on 12 megapixels, and I found that that's really worked the best for me. Quality. So with quality, I always leave this on fine. I do this because even though it does take up a little bit more space in my memory card, I want my quality to really be spot on, so fine is the best option for your quality. Sharpness. So with sharpness, I like to also leave this on strong. So I'm really choosing the best settings on the camera. Even though they may take up more space, I really want the best quality of video. Contrast. So with contrast, I always like to leave this on high. This is going to take your bright colors and make them a little brighter, and your dark colors and make them a little darker, so you can really see the difference between shades. I always like to leave it on high. I feel that helps make my videos look really great. Noise reduction. So this I always leave on high as well. Noise reduction seems like something that I would want, so that's gonna be on the high setting as well. White balance. So this is kind of your tints of your video. I always leave this on auto. I don't want to add any tints to my videos. So I feel the camera can decide what I need based on the lighting of the film. So this is always going to be on auto for me. Color. This I always leave on normal as well. The other options are black and white, retro, warm. So this is kind of your Instagram filters. I really just want it to be normal. I don't want to add any filters to it because I don't want to record in a filter. I just like to record regularly, and if I decide to add a filter, I can always do so in my editing software. ISO, so that is your light The higher you have your ISO, the brighter it's going to add to your video. ISO can be made brighter, like let's say if you're shooting in a dark area. I always leave it on auto. I feel like the camera can decide this on its own. I don't like to really play with those settings. So auto is what I choose for ISO. Okay, so distortion correction. This one is a little tricky. I always leave it off, but you can always turn it on if you want to. This kind of removes that fisheye look that the SJCAM gives it. So if you turn it on, it's going to like straighten out your video, and if you leave it off, it kind of has that like globe wide angle look to it. So personally, I like to leave that off, and that's totally your call if you prefer to have like a straight line video or if you like that curviness to the video quality. Okay guys, so that is my video on the settings that I use with my SJCAM camera. Let me know if you guys agree with my settings, if you think I should be doing something differently. I love hearing from you guys, so comment down below, and thank you guys so much for watching.